We're at North High School's Acuity Fieldhouse, where tonight the Golden Raiders host the Fond du Lac Cardinals in WIAA state tournament action. Hello everybody, my name is Mike Martin. Joining me is the coach, Chris Wright. Chris, Fond du Lac comes in 6 and 14, North 14 and 6, but that doesn't tell the whole story.
No, it doesn't. Fond du Lac's been playing a lot better as the years progressed. They played Neenah, the team that was second in the league, in their league. Real tough, lost in overtime. We have a common game, Appleton West. Both teams played Appleton West. Sheboygan North went up there and lost in overtime. Just a couple weeks ago, this Fond du Lac team beat that team, so that's one thing we kind of look at is kind of a similarity.
One of the things we're going to look at tonight is the defense that North plays, because Fond du Lac has a great player in Eddie Gilgenbach.
Yeah, they do. They shoot a lot of threes, kind of very similar to Sheboygan North. You know, this kid, Gilgenbach's got 118 three attempts, but I look at Sheboygan North, they got 425, so they shoot a bunch themselves. This Gilgenbach led the Valley in scoring 19 points a game. One thing will be interesting to see if North comes out in that 1-3-1 and see if they get some traps or someplace. If Gilgenbach comes off a whole lot of screens and things and shoots from just about anywhere, the team that makes the most threes tonight might probably be the winner tonight.
All right, with that, we're going to step out, and when we come back, we'll have the starting lineups and the tip-off for tonight's ball game. All right, we're getting ready to introduce the starting lineups for Fond du Lac. Starting at guard is number 3, Preston Thompson. He's a 6'1 junior. Number 4 is Eddie Gilgenbach. He's a 6'3 junior. He's the person we were talking about in opening. Sam Munson, number 12, is a 6'1 junior. Number 32, Nick Ford, is a 5'10 sophomore. And number 44, Jeremy Meyer, is a 6'3 junior. All underclassmen for Fondy. They only came up with 6 wins and 14 losses this year, but they look good for the future. For North, they'll be starting number 5, Derek Deasing. Deasing is a 6'1 senior. Number 21, Alex Jordan, is a 6' senior. Number 25, Tim Schwer, is a 6'2 junior. Number 31, TJ Kellner, is a 6'3 junior. And rounding out the starting 5 for North, there you see him, number 51, Tom Eyrich. He's a 6'4 junior.
Very similar teams, Marty. Both teams very, very small.
Oh, we were talking with Matt Horzen prior to the game, and he said that this Fond du Lac team is like all the other Fond du Lac teams in that they play very, very hard. And let's talk a little bit about the officiating crew tonight. We have Robert Glendy and Daniel Johnston. Those two are from Appleton. And last year, this pair did the Division II state championship game down in Madison, so they know what they're doing. Should have a well-called game tonight.
Well, Gilgenbach comes in at 19 points a game. Sam Munson, 13. Sam Munson's got good blood in him. His brother got drafted last year for baseball. His brother's also had a chance to play at Missouri. He's now going to play at UWM.
Played a little bit with the A's, too.
Yes, he did. Wes Munson. And
This is his younger brother, Sam, and I guess he's an outstanding baseball player, and he can really get up.
One thing that should help North, Fond du Lac does not go very deep, maybe 8, and they have one of those 8 out tonight. So we're into action now. Gilgenbach coming off a screen, didn't have the shot. That shot is up and good by by Nick Ford.
Nick Ford, 44% from three-point line.
Inside to Irick, and he muscles his way down deep and scores off the shorter opponent. North in the press. Ford has it. Gilgenbach on a good penetration that first possession. Ball is tipped. Long feed.
Well, a little bit of a unique defense here, some kind of trapping type defense off the man-to-man.
Gilgenbach trying to cut through the lane, but was covered up nicely.
One thing about this team, this is not the Coach Diener teams of old. This is a team that gets it and fires it.
Shot is off, no good. Kellner with the rebound. That miss was by Ford. Remember, he hit the first one. And foul is going to be called there on Ford. Nick Ford picking up his first. And I think, Chris, the way it looked, they didn't want to call that foul.
Oh, you're right. They got it on Nick Ford. They announced it wrong. But Coach Diener always coached to what he had for talent. There's no question. There's another silly foul on Fond du Lac.
Foul goes on Jeremy Meyer. And some of the information we received about Fond du Lac, they'll put Gilgenbach on the floor, and he might not leave the floor until the ball game's over.
He also had an older brother, played a little baseball and football.
Schwer open from the corner, rainbows it in. Three-pointer, North on top, 5-3.
Wow, how do you leave him wide open like that? Tim Schwer averaging almost 10 points a game this season.
Munson on a deep pass to Gilgenbach. Kicks it out to Ford. He's open from three-point land, rattles in and out. Putback is no good. North comes away with the rebound. Thompson couldn't steal it away from Conway. Kellner, no good. Thompson got the rebound that time. They're letting him play, Chris. I was going to say on that first foul on Ford, I didn't think they wanted to call it, but when he knocked the North player down, they had to. Tom Irick will get that personal foul on the drive.
Well, you know, you talk about it all year. You got to keep Tommy Irick out of foul trouble. I'll tell you what, though, I've been very impressed with the way Corey Dodge has been playing. Gives him more depth and needed depth for this tournament run.
Almost tipped away by Schwer. Gilgenbach gets it back. He's a left-hander, by the way. Thompson over to Ford on top, swinging around the outside. Good quick first step. Shot is off, no good by Munson. North with the rebound. Schwer had somebody in his face. Good tip out by Irick. Pass out to Kellner. Shot is out, no good. Rebound goes to Munson, and Fond du Lac on the attack.
It's interesting.
Good feed underneath by Gilgenbach, but Thompson can't put the easy shot in. Schwer lays it off, no good. Good pressure by Gilgenbach.
Up and down we go.
Munson, 12-footer is good.
What's interesting is Fond du Lac averages just 52 points a game despite the fact they shoot all this. North.
Derek Dezang. I'll tell you, that whole league is a slowdown league. That's part of the reason, Chris.
Well, Sheboygan's averaging 66 points a game. You wonder with the way they're shooting. Many shots has been taken so far. My pens are going to run out of ink.
Nolan Free comes in. Pump fake shot, not taken by Thompson. Gilgenbach being hounded by Free, almost tipped it away from him. Munson has it on top, kicks it over to Thompson, drives the lane, and drag the foot. Steve Lacey coming in.
Adam Zakos, first-year coach for Dick Diener. Played for Dick Diener.
Really? I didn't realize that.
And coached a little bit at Lakeland College.
Kellner, pump fake, takes it right down Main Street and lays it up and in. Nice drive by TJ Kellner, his first 2 points. 10-5, North on top. We're down to rolling down to 4:30 remaining in the first quarter. Here at North High's Acuity Fieldhouse. Opening round of tournament action, the regionals. Thompson drives, bounces out. But getting the rebound and putting it up and in was Jeremy Meyer. Well, it looked like North got a break, but they couldn't get the loose ball. Irick has it in the lane, leans in, shot no good, ball tipped out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Fond du Lac.
Well, this has got to play somewhat in the role for Sheboygan North. They're just up and down the floor. They got to like this a little bit better than Fond du Lac, I would think.
The one thing I will give Fond du Lac, the North had that breakout with Schwer, and I'll tell you, Gilgenbach really hustled back and put some pressure on the layup attempt and forced him to miss it. Cutting through is Gilgenbach. Lean back jumper is good. You're never going to stop that shot unless you're Akeem Elijahwan.
Yeah, that fadeaway is tough.
Inside feed to Irick, goes off of his hands and out of bounds.
Good idea. You got to get it into Tom. Working there. Size is a difficult situation for Fond du Lac.
Dodge and pulls coming in for Conway and Irick.
Nolan Free in the game. He's averaging 12 points a game.
Pass over by to Munson, cutting down the lane is Munson, and he missed the shot.
Point blank range.
Really. Sin in the ball game, number 11. Nolan Free open from outside the line. His shot is no good. Thompson with the board. Behind the back dribble by Ford, nice and smooth, and it goes right through the hands of Sin and out of bounds.
Are we going to take a breath?
I'm trying to. Fill in for me, huh, buddy? That's why you're called a partner.
I'm just trying to write it down everything down here, but I'm not going to have enough. I should have had 4 lines per group.
Want another pen?
Well, I need more paper. I should have gone the long way.
Yeah. Yeah. Silly turnover by North. Unforced. North on top 10-9. 3:09 remaining in the quarter. Adam Zaklos there with his arms folded. Schwer on the tough defense along with Nolan Free. Nolan going to get called for the hand check foul.
54 steals this year for Nolan Free. Led the team.
Nolan's first foul, only the team's second. Pass into Thompson. TJ Kellner on him. Then they're going to get a foul called on Corey Dodge.
Those are the ones that hurt, those reach fouls way away from the basket like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They just add up later on.
Just get you to the bonus a little bit sooner. Ford has it. Trying to take Paul's. Gilgenbach from way outside the line. His shot is up and over the backboard. No good.
What are you thinking way down? Mike, what? He was only about 27 feet.
It was definitely more than 22. North into their half-court offense. Pulls up from 14. Bango. Nothing but the bottom of the net on that one. It's 12-9 North. 2:25 remaining. Good help defense by Kellner. Inside feed to Munson. He lays it in. Good penetration. Dump down.
He's built like a tank.
Yeah, he's not very big, but I'll tell you, gotta account for him, that's for sure. Kellner almost had it tipped away from him. Jump shot in the lane is good. Under pressure, TJ put her down.
Good hustle by TJ Kellner. He got
Fond
stepped
du Lac
on
keeps
though.
it. He's hurting. Pass to Sen, and then we have a whistle.
Well,
Whistle blew. Since there wasn't a fast break attempt, they're going to call a time. They're going to blow the whistle and call time. make sure Kellner was okay. Well, it's a little unusual, Chris. Usually you have to take him out or have a timeout called.
Well, the ball was hit out of bounds, so
Shot is up by Thompson and no good. Sen with the rebound.
Too many.
Gilgenbach. Munson, no good. Schwer comes away with it.
Too many offensive rebounds.
Tell you, Fond du Lac back in great shape though. And ball is tipped away by Preston Thompson. I tell you, Fond du Lac team is hustling.
Yep. But
well, anytime you play a North team, you got to get back on defense. I mean, there's just no question about it. Schwer coming out. Nolan free. Fondy in a zone, inside to Eyrich. Lean in, shot is blocked. Off the glass, no good. And in a whistle blows. Is it on Dodge or on Eyrich? That's Eyrich's second foul. You know, how often have we seen Tom and Corey out on the floor at the same time? That's pretty unusual, actually.
Yep, and a little frustration there by Tomo. You got to be a little smarter than that. Tell you what, Fond du Lac looks a little bit tired here. They've been running pretty hard. And let's see if something happens later on with that.
Gilgenbach, good. 5 points for Eddie Gilgenbach. We're down to a minute 5. Fond du Lac steals it away, pulls on the missed pass. Ford, Munson, Gilgenbach. Dump down pass way too hard for the receiver, Josh Korb. It's 14-14. We're at 54.4 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Ford looks tired. Thompson looks tired.
I'll tell you, Thompson's always going to look tired because he's got red hair, so his face is always going to look red.
Korb looks tired. They got these guys on the ropes. We'll see how long they last.
Nolan free off a nice screen, nails a three-point basket, and that's the third three-pointer for North in the first quarter. Oh, they got a man wide open down underneath. Thompson didn't see him very soon enough. Under 30 seconds. Gilgenbach has it on top. Being guarded by Nolan Free.
Look at how tired Thompson is. He is tired.
Gilgenbach laying the ball right out there for Free to knock away.
10
Ford
seconds.
has it, down to 10. Gilgenbach says, I want the ball now. It's my time. Fade back, jumper, bango, deadly. Gilgenbach, 8 points in the quarter, 2 threes. We're done with the first quarter. It's all tied at 17.
Just close my eyes and I'm with you, and all that I so wanna give you, it's only a
You don't have to be a hero to be a hero. When you adopt a child from foster care, just being there makes all the difference.
Pop quiz for you. In what movie did I play a gang leader struggling in school? Who was my teacher? What did I learn in math class? Oh, and here's one about you. What did your kid learn in math class today?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
6 different players scored for North in that first quarter. None of them more than 4. TJ had 2 baskets. He's the only player with 2 baskets. For Fond du Lac, they had 4 players score. Gilgenbach had 8 of their 17 points. Schwer has it. Now it's Kellner on top, being guarded by Thompson. Fond du Lac in a zone. I think that, pardon me, they're not. Lean-in shot by Schwer is good. Nice drive by Tim Schwer.
Each team hit, I'm sorry, Marty. I was just going to say each team hit 3 threes. Each were 3 for 7 out there. A lot of shots and lots of points.
Starting lineup back in for Fond du Lac. Dumped down to Gilgenbach. His lean back jumper is no good. Kellner with a nice rebound. Conway driving right to the basket. He's fouled on the way in by Munson. Sam Munson committing his first foul.
Well, something we saw North do a lot this year is get to the basket. They got to the foul line quite a bit.
Alex Jordan going to step to the line. He's hitting 72% of his free throws, but can't come away with that one.
They shot 124 more free throws this year than their opponents. That's, you're talking what, five a game? That's a lot of extra trips. 6 a game?
Well, they had 56 against South.
Sorry about that, Southsiders.
Well, seriously, when you look at it, I mean, that one game was just huge in terms of disparity with free throws, and it wasn't just the first game. Shot is no good by Munson. Conway on the bust out. Pardon me, Jordan. Kellner wanted to take the shot, but could cover up defense by Preston Thompson. Nolan Free on a quick release, can't get it in. Good pressure by Gilgenbach on the defense. Ford looking.
Gilgenbach was wide open, they didn't get him the ball.
Oh, off the hands of Gilgenbach. Good defensive pressure by Nolan Free. One person they don't look to very much is Jeremy Meyer, their inside player. Free on a gliding shot to the basket, put it up and in, and it's 22-17. Timeout, Fond du Lac. Full timeout, Scott, so let's take a 30-second break. We'll be right back. North on top with 6:25 remaining until halftime, 22-17.
The United Church of Christ. No matter who you are or where you are in life's journey, you're welcome here.
Back at North High School's Acuity Fieldhouse, where the Raiders on a bit of a run, 5-pointer, last minute and 35 seconds.
Well, the last one basically happened. The official inbound the ball, quick pass down to Nolan Free in the corner. Fond du Lac wasn't paying attention, and a nice easy basket there. And you know, you mentioned it earlier, Marty, about getting back against North, and that's something that Fond du Lac didn't do. And the old Fond du Lac teams knew about that. Coach Zako should know this as well, but that hurt him there.
We were talking during the break before about, you said that Fond du Lac looked tired. You know, it may not pay dividends until the second half, but as long as they don't get much of a rest, it's not going to be good for them. Meyer, they found him that time, Chris. He lays it up and in. 22-19. Deasing open for just a second. Ball! Bango! Deasing with a big rainbow. His second three of the night. He's got 6 points.
Welcome to Sheboygan North basketball.
Well, you mentioned in the opening, we got to hit threes, and they're doing it so far. Thompson on the travel, but caught up in the air.
It's only his second turnover, but he's had a couple before that the officials didn't catch.
25-19, North up 6, their largest lead of the game. Corey Dodge out the free. Good cover-up defense by Gilgenbach, prevent the shot. North working the perimeter, looking for Dodge underneath. Deasing open for just a second. He nails another one. Derek feeling it.
3 for 3 from out there.
Ford has it, being guarded by Jordan. Good help defense, got to cut off the base sideline. Munson, jump shot, no good. And I believe they're going to get Tim Schwer. He didn't quite get there in time. He had the right idea, but he was just a little bit late. And nicked Munson as he was going for the rebound. And Chris, you don't like that call.
No. Tough break there. Tell you what, here's the replay, and watch him coming in from the side.
See, caught him in the back, which was a good call.
Yeah. For those of you just joining us, Tom Irick's on the bench with 2 fouls, so you'll see a lot of Corey Dodge.
Gilgenbach, pump fake. Shot is going to be no good. Deasing with the strong rebound. And a double dribble by Alex Jordan. Oh man, that's another unforced error by North, and we're not used to seeing that, Chris. 28-19, North up by 9. Thompson to Gilgenbach, being guarded by Schwer. That foul on Schwer was only his first. Gilgenbach on a nice up and under. He has 10. Deasing is wide open. Jordan didn't even look at him. Come on, you got to know where those guys are. Kellner has it on top. Shoots right in the face of Thompson and nails a 3. As long as this continues, North has got no problems. Right now it's 31-21. They've been lights out from the 3-point line.
Fond du Lac's playing right into North's hands.
Ford, no good. Good box out by Corey Dodge. North with the rebound.
Absolutely.
And Ford with another foul. His second. And Fondy coming in with some subs now. Number 22, Ryan King, and number 11, Kyle Sen. Sen played in the first quarter.
6 for 11 from out in 3-point land. And
no, I don't think this is a legal substitution. That shouldn't be allowed because he came off the floor and then they let him come back in.
Was that on North?
31? It was on Kellner. Ay, ay, ay. Shocked us.
I thought it was a turnover.
Ford has it. Gilgenbach probing the lane, kicks it out. Gilgenbach gets it right back. He's looking to go. But North playing a good defense tonight. Good help defense by Derek Deasing. Stepping out. Dodge a little bit late on the help there. Ford gets around him. Shot is no good. Tap is no good. Tap is no good again. Gilgenbach's tap is up and in. Where was the block out that time? That goes on Schwer. That's his second. We're going to see it again. Boy. Good block out underneath, but nobody had the other rebounder. You could see the block out underneath by a North player. Well, Schwer and Eyrich both have 2. There's 3:36 remaining until halftime. We may not see those players anymore this half. Gilgenbach at the line. He's a 72% shooter from the line. He nails that one.
A little pressure by Fond du Lac.
And they got it on Ford. Now he'll have 2. Ford now with 2 fouls. Let's see what they do with him. They're coming back with Preston Thompson.
He needed a rest.
Really? I'll tell you, North not working very hard to get the ball in bounds that time. Andy pulls in the ball game. Deasing coming off a screen is covered up nicely by Munson.
Look at that. All of a sudden you got Munson on Derek Deasing. That should help Kellner.
Kellner, a leaner, can't get it to go. Good save by Preston Thompson. Long pass is tipped away by Derek Deasing. 3:10 remaining. It's 31-24. North on top. There you see Coach Tom Desautels. He wants this one.
You don't see Coach stand up very often.
Away. Yeah, almost tipped away. King gets it out to Gilgenbach. Shot rolls off, and I believe it's going to be off of North. Yes, it is. Fond du Lac will keep it. Fondy a little like that Green Bay East team, I believe it was, Chris. They're quite athletic. Good jumpers, they run well. Gilgenbach, shot is no good.
Wow.
Oh, good save. Another reload for Fond du Lac. Gilgenbach shake and bake in the lane. No good, but he's fouled. And I'll tell you, North is not getting the rebounds like they did earlier in the half.
Too many offensive rebounds is right.
Foul goes on Corey Dodge. That's his second.
He made some good points before, too. Fond du Lac is really hustling.
It's a timeout by North. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Expound on that thought, Chris.
Well, I just think, you said it before, that Fond du Lac just seems to be getting all the loose balls and hustling back, where, North was banging home their shots, but the hustle board right now, Fond du Lac's doing just a little bit of better job. You don't often see Coach Desatel call a timeout in the first half. We saw it against Preble because the flood was coming in, but I think it's a good timeout because you got a 7-point lead. You had all the momentum. Just hit the boards. Just a little reminder to box out, and let's have a nice little lead going in at halftime.
One of the things that happens, and we've seen this throughout the years, when you take a lot of threes, like both teams are doing tonight, if it doesn't go in, it's going to be a long rebound. And that last one was just a great example of the hustle of Fond du Lac, Gilgenbach in that case.
Well, North has 11 threes already. The last time we saw them play against Preble, they had 12 in the whole game. And they didn't make a lot of them.
That was the 8th team foul on North there. Get a good shot at Eddie Gilgenbach, the old left-hander. Oh, in and out, and in again. Oh, Fond du Lac almost with a steal. And now we're going to get a foul called on Ryan King. That'll be his first. I'll tell you, North sometimes gets a little sloppy. They're not moving towards the ball like they should. And I think they were caught by surprise on the press. Easing can't catch the ball. They had it. They had a 2-on-1 and they lost the ball again.
Everything you wanted there, and it just didn't go.
Deasing working 1-on-1 with Thompson. Nolan Free guarding Gilgenbach. Thompson has the baseline, and we're going to get a foul on the drive. Good call. Jordan had the right idea, but he was late. Fond du Lac chipping away. I believe it was 3:35 remaining.
I had 31-21 it was.
Right. With 3:35 remaining, and now they've cut into that lead in less than a minute and a half. A lot of it from the free throw line. That's their 4th free throw make of the half, all of them in the second quarter. And they're just chipping away at the lead.
They're only a 64% free throw shooting team, so this is not like them, but they're liking it here.
Long lead feed. Jump shot by Free is no good. And Fond du Lac comes away with the rebound. They're really forcing North into a fast-paced game, and North not capitalizing on it.
A big turnover, Fond du Lac. We need this hoop.
No good. Pump fake. Oh, good rebound by Jordan, and then he draws the foul underneath. That's your point guard, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll tell you what, North needed a hoop or a point or something, and a good effort. You're talking about Alex Jordan was inside of 4 maroon shirts.
Jordan rolls that one in.
See him get a roll. He's also 72%.
2 out of 3 so far. Steve Lacey checking in. What surprises me, Chris, is Fond du Lac is pressing North, and North is not handling the press very good.
No, they had some opportunities, but they just can't. You're right. They had those 2-on-1s before, and they just couldn't put it in.
Letter perfect on those 2 by Alex. North up 33-28. Under 2 minutes.
Those are
North,
huge free throws.
Yeah, they were. Break that string. Good inside feed to Thompson. His spin move in the middle of the lane. The shot won't roll down, but he is going to draw the foul. Foul's going to go on Lacey.
Tough call there on Steve Lacey. You're talking about someone who was just standing right there, and
he turned right into the defense.
Yeah.
But I'll give Thompson credit. That was a zip of a pass, and he handled it well.
Double bonus now for Fond du Lac all the way into the clubhouse.
33-29, 1:41 remaining until halftime. Thompson turning around, saying to his coach, no problem. Got them both, coach. Free open from outside the line, and he makes them pay that time.
Ice. Man.
Nolan has 8.5. 36-30. And they're going to get Gilgenbach for an over and back. They thought the ball was tipped.
It was.
And they're going to talk about it.
The right call would be here. You'll see it. Good replay here. There you see the tip. Oh, they're questioning the three, not the tip. Wow, that's a break for Sheboygan North. Let's use it here. Up by 6 with the ball with 1.5 minutes left.
North has it in a 6-point lead. North spreading out the offense, trying to run some clock. I think they're looking for the backdoor cut.
I like this because they're so spread out, like you said, Marty. They'll create passing lanes earlier on.
And a foul is going to be called on Preston Thompson. That'll be his first. The 7th team foul, so Derek Deasing's going to go to the line with a chance to expand on the lead. Deasing's going to step up, shooting 75% from the free throw line, but only 9 for 12. Well, when you shoot only threes, you're not going to get a lot of free throws.
Yeah, he had 99 threes going into tonight. Add 3 more to that, 102. He's 40 for 102 now. 3 for 3 from out there, Derek. Good first half for you, young man.
Talking to the boys underneath, saying, enjoy each other's company. Instead of Deasing nails them both. He has 11 points in the half. It's 38-30 North. Holding on. Ooh, they had a chance on the steal. Double team just a little bit late. King had it. Kicks it over to Gilgenbach. Good step out defense. Inside feed to Thompson. He had a timeout called and they got it. North will have the possession with under a minute left. 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. Coach, do you run her down and crank it, or are you going to run some clock again?
Sheboygan North, run it down 45 seconds.
Well, maybe not the whole way.
40?
I don't think. Need some time for the rebound, just in case.
Most teams, I think, with an 8-point lead would do that. We'll see what North comes out with. I like the way they spread the floor there before, Marty, and that does take some time.
They did run the floor, and they spread it and that kind of thing, and Jordan made a great cut to the basket. Nobody was looking underneath. I think once they get it, Deasing does a good job that he catches the ball and squares up and looks, but not everybody does it as well as him, and you got to get everybody doing that. So when you get that guy cutting through.
You're talking about, Derek Deasing. I think you made a good point there, Marty. That he's coached that, and he remembers that, and he does it, and that's why he's on the floor. I mean, he does little things to earn playing time.
Josh Korb guarding Jordan.
See if we can get a foul here. Some easy points.
There you see Deasing coming to the ball nice and hard. Come on, dribble the ball. Here's that back cut. Oh, they got him for the 5-second call just before the pass was made. It was right on the cusp of being 5 seconds. But that's what we're talking about. Get that backdoor cut. Just got to get it a little quicker. Korb coming out. And coming back in is Nick Ford.
Well, he's their point guard. Let's see what they do here.
And watch the penetration and pitch. Alex Jordan on him.
You don't want any momentum going into halftime for Fond du Lac. How about one big stop here, White?
Down to 10 seconds. Get it over to Gilgenbach. Step out, force it, that's it. Good drive, and a layup is up and good. What a play by Nick Ford. Good substitution by Coach Adam Zarkos. And we're at halftime. North on top, 38-32.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away.
That wasn't very nice.
After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
pretty entertaining first half.
Excellent job by the North High drum line and the dance team a little earlier.
A killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
People with diabetes are 2 to 4 times more likely to suffer a stroke than people without diabetes, and many who survive are severely disabled.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
Look, my first tooth.
Dudley, spit out the toothpaste. That was the first time you brushed your teeth.
And I brush twice a day, every day.
Oh, here's that nice dentist, Dr. Benchley.
Yep, he showed me how to floss.
Why are your teeth blue?
I use my mouth guard whenever I play sports to protect my smile.
And visit the dentist regularly.
Remember, brush twice a day and floss once a day.
Parents, there's something you can do to protect your kids from drugs and alcohol. Combine ground beef with egg, tomato sauce, breadcrumbs, and spices. Bake in an oven-safe pan at 350 for 50 minutes. Serve hot.
This is Jamie Lee Curtis. Children who eat dinner with their families are less likely to smoke, drink, or use drugs. So, have dinner together every day.
Delicious.
A message from CASA, the National Center on Addiction and Substance Abuse at Columbia University.
Back at North High School's Acuity Fieldhouse, where they lead at halftime over the Fond du Lac Cardinals, 38-32. Let's go through some first half scoring. Fond du Lac was led by their ace left-hander, Eddie Gilgenbach. He had 15 points. He had 8 in the first quarter, 7 in the second. Went 3 for 3 from the line in that second quarter. Following him with 5 points was Nick Ford. Nick Ford had the last basket of the half. He was inserted with about 14 seconds remaining and made a real nice drive right down the lane and was able to scoop it up underneath the arms of 2 taller defenders and got it up and in. Following him with 4 points was Jeremy Meyer, Sam Munson, and Preston Thompson for their 32. North was led by Derek Deasing with 11. Nolan Free had 8. TJ Kellner had 7. Tim Schwer had 5. Alex Jordan had 3, all of them coming from the free throw line in the second quarter. Andy Pulse had 2, and Tom Irick had 2. Tom had the first 2 points of the half for North, and then was silent from then on, but he picked up a couple of fouls early in the first quarter and sat out the rest of that time. Fond du Lac had 3 3-pointers, but they were 7 for 7 from the free throw line. North, on the flip side, had 7 3-point baskets and was 5 for 6 from the free throw line, and a very entertaining half, Chris.
Well, each team shot exactly the same amount of threes in each of the quarters. Interesting situation. They were both 3 for 7 after the first quarter. Second quarter, North hit 4 to 5. Fond du Lac was 0 for 5. That is 4 different points right there. Basically the difference in the ball game. And I think that Fond du Lac's going to have a tough time running with North. Be nice to see North get off to a fast start right here.
One thing they did do is they played 8 players in the first half, some of them sparingly, granted, but they did get some of their people out when they needed to. North had 9 in, which is about their average. They get a lot of players in the ball game. Fond du Lac will start it off. Nick Ford has it.
I definitely like the score the way it is high like this for North.
Irick back in the game, makes his presence known with a nice rebound. Quick pass. Good fake by Deasing. Got Gilgenbach off his feet but couldn't get the shot in. Irick stepped on the line. Nope. Committed a travel violation. Good rebound underneath, but was pinned underneath there by a couple of Fond du Lac players and wound up walking with the ball.
First miss for Derek Deasing was 3 for 3 in the first half.
We're going to quickly review what happened at the end of the half there because North had a 10-point lead. That was the longest lead of the game. And Fond du Lac able to cut it to 5. And then North made a bit of a run at the end and wound up leading by 6 at halftime. Ford, 12-footer is off, no good. Alex Jordan with the rebound. Driving down the lane, he's going to be fouled, but I think it's going to be on the drive. North will get it out of bounds. Committing the foul is Nick Ford. That's his 3rd.
Fond du Lac now just 11 of 31 from the floor. Sheboygan North 13 for 26, and quick math tells me that's 50%.
Ooh, almost. Jordan with a good save. Now he's got to get rid of the ball and threw it right away. Schwer looked like he was coming across and stopped, and hence the turnover.
Well, they tried to hit Kellner at the 3-point line, but Fond du Lac had that well scouted and took it away.
Thompson over to Gilgenbach. Whoop! And off the hands of a Fond du Lac Cardinal, that being Sam Munson, and North will get it right back. Uncharacteristically for North, Chris, they had several unforced turnovers in the first half. Let's hope that doesn't continue here in the second.
Yeah, they have 8 turnovers in the game. Fond du Lac has 7. Difference has been the 3-point makers, not attempters.
Again, Schwer going hard to the basket, but he's fouled. Foul's going to go on Munson, his 3rd.
Uh-oh.
Getting ready to check in will be Ryan King.
Tell you what, there's been a lot of Kings in Fond du Lac. And
King's Food Host years and years ago, fast food restaurant.
I know they played football and basketball. There's just been a host of those.
Oh, nice cut by Jordan. He lays it up and in.
See how long those guys stay on the bench here.
Gilgenbach, the left-handed shot in the lane is no good. Tipped out. Got to get on the floor, boys. Oh, nothing on the pass. Nothing on the pass. You got to get some muscle underneath that pass. Wide open North player, and he threw a Brett Favre. Nick Ford on top. Thompson looking to go baseline. He pulls up from 12 and nails it.
Tough shot.
I'll tell you, there's a scoring opportunity going by the board for North. Schwer dribbles it off his foot. Fond du Lac has it right back. North still up 6. It's 40-34. And we're going to get a foul on Schwer. Too much hands, his 3rd. Nolan Free's going to make a quick entrance into the ballgame. There's 5:44 remaining. That was only the first team foul on North. Corey Dodge is also going to check in for Tom Eyrich. Watch him throw it back to the pass-in guy. Gilgenbach goes right around Kellner, up with the left hand and in. What a circus shot that was. Deasing gets a chance to set his feet. Can't get it to roll in. Tip up by Kellner is no good. And a whistle on North. Foul goes on Nolan Free, his 2nd. 5:26 remaining, Chris, and North only up 4.
Nolan Free, just a sophomore. He was 2nd in the team with fouls behind Eyrich, but like I said before, he led that team in steals. He's got quick hands.
One thing that's really nice is having 12 points come off the bench. He's averaging 12 a game. North in his zone.
There's that 1-3-1. Know where number 4 is. Know where number 4 is.
Thompson, little dish pass into Korb. His layup is good.
Good patience showed by Fond du Lac. They look like they worked on that. Nice offense for that 1-3-1, and there's another foul on Fond du Lac. They can't stop the drive.
Nope, not with those guys. Korb's going to pick up his 1st. But one thing they are doing, Chris, is keeping those guys with 3 fouls from getting their 4th. And they're still making points up. That's the bad part. They're making hay without the sun out. Kellner open, nails a three.
I knew that was going to be money when he left his hand.
10 points in the ball game. Nick Ford has it, being hounded. And we're going to get a blocking foul on Jeremy Meyer. The idea was good, the execution wasn't.
Fouls are mounting for Fond du Lac. 4 and 3.5 minutes.
One thing our fans may not realize, usually talking about screening against a man-to-man, it's a good idea to screen against the zone.
I like it. I got a great offense.
Kellner with a quick release, bango, wow, we got to get on that guy. Can't leave him open like that. 13 points.
4 for 8 from the floor.
North all of a sudden up 8.
3 for 5 from out there.
Meyer kicks it out to Thompson, back out to Gilgenbach. He's driving down the lane. Kicks it out. Fondy patient, and Eyrich brought the hands down on top of him and committed the foul, and that's going to be his third. And Corey Dodge getting ready to come right back in the ball game.
2 big threes there by TJ Kellner made a close game, a 2-point game, now all of a sudden into an 8-point game. What a weapon that 3-point, and as much as North needs to know where Gilgenbach is, Fond du Lac needs to know where Kellner is. Those are big 3-pointers.
Thompson was 4 for 4 in the first half, Chris. He's a 68% shooter from the free throw line, so he's way above his mark tonight.
Doing whatever you can to help him out to miss, huh?
Yeah, matter of fact, I got it off a little bit too late, but they've made all their free throws tonight. They haven't missed yet. Got to say that a little quicker next time.
A nice 6-point lead for North here and the basketball.
Gilgenbach playing the tough defense now on Kellner. That's a good matchup. Eddie is tall as TJ. Fouls on Preston Thompson, his second. That's the fifth team foul on Fond du Lac in the quarter.
Guess what, North? Go right to it.
Nolan Free open. He nails a three.
Wow.
North has been very hot from outside the line. That's their third three-pointer of the quarter, their 10th of the game. 49-40.
10 for 15.
And a timeout, Fond du Lac. 30-second timeout, Scots. We'll keep it here. The crew tonight is Scott Mieloff in the truck directing. Steve Reiner up here with the top camera. Eric Wiesman down on the floor. My partner is Chris Wright. I'm Mike Martin, and pretty nice crowd tonight for school night. Not what we were hoping for.
Right. Well, this weekend we'll be heading to Fond du Lac.
Make the call, Scott. Let those people know we're coming.
Yeah, I got to call Fond du Lac, let them know we're coming. 10 for 15 from three-point line today for Sheboygan North. And when they hit their threes, they're a tough team to beat. Any team that hits 10 three-pointers is tough to beat, but that's just something that, you just can't allow. And Fond du Lac's letting Sheboygan North open, and all their big guys are hitting them too. Deasing's hitting them, Free's hitting them, and Kellner's hitting them. You look at the shot attempts from three-point line, those are the guys that shoot them, Deasing, Free, and they're getting their shots. And that's just poor defense.
I thought the last shot that Kellner made from outside the line, the defense actually wasn't that bad. It's just he got it off so quick. There's not much you can do about that. Pass into Ford, good pump fake, drives down the lane. Shot is no good. Good rebound inside. And then Jordan lost it as he fell down. Tough break. Thompson, his layup is no good. Tap up no good. Nolan Free comes away with it.
Big break for Sheboygan North.
Kellner, not a bad attempt. Even though there were 3 Cardinals underneath the bench, I don't think that was a bad attempt. He was feeling it, and he was wide open from outside the line. But he couldn't get it. It's 49-40. We're down to 2:50 remaining in the third quarter. North lighting it up from outside the line. I can't let him go like that, and he missed the layup. Wow, wide open. Deasing got fouled on the shot, and he got nailed pretty good. He's going to be shooting 3 free throws. He was 2 for 2 in the first half. Let's hope he can duplicate that, plus 1 more.
Fourth, personal foul, Nick Ford.
Well, I'll tell you something, Chris. Did you notice what Kellner did? He kicked it right down to the corner. He saw Deasing there. You know, we don't always see that. He's open a lot, especially this ball game. You got to get him the ball. And if he can get fouled and make the free throws, so much the better. North with a 10-point lead now, 50-40. Looking for the hat trick. Coming in is Ryan King, number 22. Ford is going to have to sit down for a while. Letter perfect. Deasing with 3 in a row. He's got 5 in the ball game. And grabs a seat on the bench, get a little bit of rest.
12-2 run for North.
Nice run. 52-40, by the way.
Hitting the threes. Now your free throws.
Stop the dribbler, boys. Oh, good feed inside to Meyer, and then he gets fouled. That was bad defense by North, right from the get-go.
Now Timmy Schwer hits 4th foul. But I'll tell you what.
I think North can absorb the foul problems where Fond du Lac can't.
You stole my thunder, but you're right. You're right.
Slap my mouth.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Losing Tim Schwer, as much as he's important to Sheboygan North, Nick Ford is more important because they're not as deep as North.
Kellner looked like he had the lane but pulled back. Eyrick was underneath.
North will be in the bonus next time.
North with only 4 team fouls in the quarter. Eyrick go one-on-one with him. Good defense by Meyer. Eyrick on a pullback, couldn't get it. Good offensive rebound by Tom. Drive down the lane is swatted out of bounds by Jeremy Meyer. But we get a whistle blow. And it's going to be a foul on Jeremy. His 3rd. Jordan will go to the line to shoot a pair. He was 3 for 4 in the first half, Chris.
Outstanding first 6 minutes by the Raiders. They're just getting it done the way the Raiders get it done. 3-point shooting, getting to the basket.
You know, other than closing out the game, the most important are those first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half. And you're right, North really playing fine basketball for the most part.
It was 40-38. A couple missed inside shots for Fond du Lac, but since then, North has taken control, and it's nice to see.
Gilgenbach working on free. Keep an eye on that boy. Munson, he nothing but air. And the ball's tipped out of bounds off of Steve Lacey. That wasn't a good 3-point attempt, Chris. He was leaning back and, you know, pretty well outside the line. Keep an eye on Gilgenbach. Preston Thompson. Jump shot by Gilgenbach. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Whoa, baby.
I was just going to say they've done a nice job of containing him. He's just 2 of 5 in the quarter.
He's got 20 points in the game, though, Chris.
Started out, says Coach Destatel. TJ wants to answer that 3.
Well, I tell you, you can get Gilgenbach off his feet with a good pump fake and then maybe draw the foul. North with a 9-point lead. We're rolling down to 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter.
Watch him get a reaching foul here. I'm betting on a reaching foul and a couple bonus free throws.
Eyrick. Come on, North. Got to run smart now. Break hard to the basket. Offensive foul.
Tough call.
Trying to create some space. And Thompson, if they wouldn't have given away the Academy Awards just the other night, maybe up for one. But with a whole year to go, I don't think he'll win. Sen back in the ball game for the Cardinals. Whoa, nice pickup by Preston Thompson. Good switch off there by Nolan Free. Munson has it. Good inside feed to Gilgenbach, who lays it up and in. An easy two, too easy. North up 7. We're down to 20 seconds remaining in the quarter. North not finishing it off as well as they did starting it off. Kellner has it.
5 seconds.
Free, Leaner, got it. Nolan free. A big hoop to stop the Fond du Lac run. We're at the end of 3 quarters of play. North up 9, 56-47.
Salam. Ewa.
Rede.
Apa? Mir.
Shanti.
Yep, Changyok di.
We all want the same thing.
Peace.
And Rotary clubs
Sola.
are making it happen.
Lucky.
Through international scholarships for young people to promote peace and understanding
La Fei.
around the world.
Señales de high.
Rotary. Humanity in motion.
Back at North High School's Acuity Fieldhouse, where the Golden Raiders lead after 3 quarters of play, 56-47, and what has been really an excellent basketball game. And Chris, let me ask you a hypothetical question. Put Fond du Lac in the Fox River Valley. How do they finish?
Nice question.
I think they finish in the upper division.
Well, I think they're
upper half of the league.
I think they're a lot like Green Bay Preble or something. Probably, in the middle somewhere. They're pretty young and things like that. They do some nice things, and just looking at their scores, they've been in a lot of close games and they've been in blown out in games. So when they take care of the ball and do the right things, they're in there. Sheboygan North, on the other hand, has played in every game. I mean, they basically haven't been blown out in too many, 2 or 3. Besides from that, they've taken care of business.
The real kick in the pants was that Preble game.
Yeah. Just 5 baskets for North in that quarter, but 3 of them were threes.
Munson with a strong rebound. Kellner couldn't get his shot to go. Gilgenbach on a behind the backer. Good hands by Kellner. He's got it on the bust out. And tipped away from Dezing. Saved by Ford. And then coming away with it was Jeremy Meyer. Wow, I'll tell you, this Fond du Lac Cardinal team just hustles. Gilgenbach, no good. Dezing, get it. He's got it. Don't get so excited, coach. North up 9. 7 minutes remaining. Kellner on a good cut through the lane. His shot off the glass is up and in. Great pass by Derek Dezing. North on top by 11. Thompson, no look pass into Munson. Good hand up in the air by Jordan. Kellner with the rebound. Jordan right down Main Street, and he's hammered on the way to the hoop by Munson. He's going to go to the line again. This is something that we've seen now the last couple of games with North. I mean, they're just taking it to the hoop. People can't stop them. I don't think we noticed that early in the year.
Well, they dropped look at Fond du Lac, though. Their heads are dropped. They're not back on defense. We mentioned that earlier. And, when you play Sheboygan North, you should know these things. And this team right now doesn't know what's hitting them. And
timeout by Fond du Lac. Good timeout by Coach Adam Zarkos. It's a full timeout, Scott, so we can take a short break with 6:27 remaining in the ball game. North up 12, 59-47.
What do triglycerides or trigs have to do to get noticed? Normal triglycerides are below 150. High triglycerides increase your risk of heart disease. And if you're a woman, that risk goes up even more. After standing in the shadows of good and bad cholesterol, triglyceride, also known as the forgotten fat, is ready to share the spotlight and the attention. Remember to ask your doctor about the good, the bad, and the forgotten fat. And remember, normal triglycerides are under 150.
This message brought to you by Sister to Sister, working together for healthy hearts.
Back at North High School's Acuity Fieldhouse, there you see the Fond du Lac Cardinals being talked to by their coach, Adam Zakos. Adam in his first year as the Fond du Lac coach, Dick Diener retiring, I believe, from teaching and coaching, Chris.
Yeah, he wants to follow his son who's playing basketball, I believe, in Europe.
He also left the door open, if I remember correctly, in that he said, yeah, may still get back into coaching in some form. Jordan is going to go back to the line. Alex having a nice ball game, at least from the free throw line. He's only missed 1 out of 6 attempts, pardon me. Nails another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's made 7 out of 8. I'll get it right yet. I didn't have to go down to my toes yet. Couldn't count. 60-47. North with their longest lead, 13. Stop the dribbler, boys. Right through the hands of Kyle Sin. But I'll tell you, Fond du Lac had it going, but turned the ball over. Unforced turnover. But you know, one of the things that I've noticed about Fond du Lac, they'll turn the ball over, but they'll also miss some pretty easy shots. Well, they had some nice lay-ins in. Kellner open.
Oh,
rims out.
Good shot, TJ.
Good job by Deasing to pull it back out and set up the offense. We're down to 6 minutes remaining in the ball game. North up 60-47. Nolan free. Andy pulls, had his shot blocked. Inside feed to Sen, but he kicks it right back out. Thompson down the lane, shot is good, and he's fouled. Well, that's a shot in the arm that Fond du Lac needed. That's their first points of the quarter, Chris, and we're 2 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Well, one thing I like about the situation when North is up by 13 points, even if Fond du Lac tends to make a run, they're going to have to use a lot of energy to come back. And I think that just bodes well for Sheboygan North, who's in very good shape, and the fact that they also have themselves in the bonus as well.
Nolan free, getting called for the charging foul. A little out of control on that.
Good call.
May not have been a bad idea to just pull it out. It's 60-50. North in the 1-3-1 trapping zone.
Fond du Lac crowd getting a little restless. They know they have to get one more run here if they're going to get in this, or they're done for the year.
Inside feed to Sen. He puts it up and in. Fond du Lac making that run that you talked about, Chris. Irick with a quick jump shot. Let's run some clock here, boys. Handle the ball. Down to 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. North up 8. I'll tell you what they don't look as comfortable playing with the lead.
He's strong, Tom.
Fond du Lac pressuring the ball. And that's going to be a violation. Ooh. He got the timeout in time, I believe. The way Paul swung his elbows, that can be a violation.
I think they're giving a warning to him too.
It's a full timeout, Scott, so we can take a break with 4:42 remaining in the ball game. North on top, 60-52.
This is a banana. This is a cat. This is fire. This is harmless and actually helpful to some people. Don't believe everything you hear. The fact is that every major health organization rejects smoked marijuana. Now that the smoke is cleared, discover truecompassion.org.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here, Chris, if North is going to retain possession.
I think they do. They got the timeout. One thing that North's not doing a very good job is taking care of the ball. They already have 15 turnovers, well over their average of 12, and there's a long way to go here. I like the fact they're still up by 8. They got the basketball.
Guess who's not in the game? The guy who I thought committed the turnover or the violation.
Yeah. Good free throw shooting team, so that'll help you down the stretch. And I would go right at number 32, Nick Ford, with his fouls.
Oh, they threw it away. And a foul is going to get called on Jordan. I'll tell you, North is not handling the pressure at all. They just do not look comfortable going against this pressure of Fond du Lac.
And it's just kind of the opposite of, they're the ones causing the situation normally. But that's turnover number 16 unofficially I have him for. Tom Irick comes out of the ball game. I got him for 8 rebounds tonight, so he's earning his oats under the rebound area.
He's having an impact when he's in there, that's for sure. Not only on the rebounding part, but also on defense.
Yep. Not often you're 6'3" and you're a presence out there. But Fond du Lac's not big either.
Can I interject something here real quick? Preston Thompson has not missed a free throw tonight, and neither has Fond du Lac. I tried, fans. Ball is tipped away. Gilgenbach has it. He's been silent for a long time here. Don't let him light it up. By the way, Ford is back in, number 32. There's Gilgenbach. Shot is no good. Jordan had it tipped away. No foul call, but North keeps it.
That was Gilgenbach's just second shot in the quarter.
Let's keep it that way. 4:13 remaining. North up by only 6. They had it up to 13. It was 60-47. It's been a 7-point run by the Cardinals.
Alex Jordan, he's got 7 rebounds too. He's doing an outstanding job out there.
Pull-up jumper off the glass, no good. Kellner had a good look.
Good look. Even the ones he's missing are right there.
Long lead feed by Sen. He's fouled on the shot attempt. Fond du Lac coming back. Foul's going to go on TJ Kellner. That's his second. Kyle Sen at the line.
Good decision, bring Timmy Schwer back in. He's a defensive specialist guy, someone you need out there. Stop the run a little bit.
Well, Sen is not even a 29% free throw shooter, but he nailed his. They are in a zone as a team from the free throw line.
2 of 7 from the free throw line this year. Probably practiced more than 7 this year in practice.
And Jordan with the rebound. North up 5. Jordan, Kellner, Dodge, Schwer, and Free in the ball game for the Raiders.
Get to the basket. Get to the basket.
Dodge trying to get inside position. He's battling in there with Josh Korb, number 24. Maybe clear aside and let Schwer go against Ford, see if he can pick up his 4th. Gilgenbach tipping from behind. Schwer on a great drive to the basket, kept control of the ball, kissed it off the glass and put it down. That was a big hoop.
That was a big hoop.
Rolling down to 3 minutes in the ball game. Gilgenbach off a screen kicks it right back out.
Nolan Free doing an outstanding job on Gilgenbach right now.
Thompson dishes it inside, but the shot is blocked, but a whistle, and I think it's going to be, it is. It's going on Alex Jordan. And for Jordan, that's going to be his 4th.
Another young man who hasn't been to the free throw line much this year, just 2 free throw attempts all year, but tell you what, Fond du Lac's all of a sudden now they get themselves in a double bonus. North started the half out with such a big advantage in the fouls, and now it's just switched around.
Is missing free throws kind of like double faulting in tennis? You know, you miss one, all of a sudden you're going to miss another one? Got to get some good block out. I'll tell you, these guys from Fond du Lac hustle and they jump, and they put a great effort into the ball game. North has got to keep playing hard. They're up 7. Flat on the free throw, but he got it down. Didn't look pretty, but the end result was a point. Oh, hammered at the mid-court line. They get Gilgenbach for the foul, but that's only his first foul, Chris. You know, before the game we talked about, let's get this guy in foul trouble. Fourth quarter, his first foul.
Good job by Gilgenbach there. Tom Eyrich turned to square to look up the floor, and Gilgenbach was right there. Quick hands by him. You know, Tommy wasn't aware that Gilgenbach was there, but good defensive play there, but got the reach on him.
Josh Korb checks out to a nice hand. Coming in is the starter, Sam Munson, number 12. Eyrich can't get it, but Kellner gets the putback up and in. Whoa, big break for the Raiders. Gilgenbach has it.
Boy, from a rebound to a rebound basket, Munson was right there, and he jumped right over the basketball.
Good hands. Keep your hands up, boys. Ford. Jumper from 10 is no good. An offensive rebound, or pardon me, an offensive rebound foul is going to be committed by Preston Thompson, number 3. North will be shooting some free throws.
No, they're going to get
Munson, and that's his 5th. Tom Eyrich will be going back to the line.
Shooting a double bonus.
Eyrich shooting 68% from the free throw line, so he should make a couple on this next trip, if all works out right. 2:23 remaining, North up 8, 64-56, and what has been heart-pounding. I mean, Fond du Lac just keeps coming at you. And I suppose you got to suspect that from a young team.
Well, good job of Sheboygan North. Eddie Gilgenbach, just 2 shot attempts in the fourth quarter. That is getting it done on defense. Sam Munson, their second leading scorer, only had 2 attempts in the whole half. He was averaging 13, now he's out of the game. So Sheboygan North getting it done, as they say.
That was the 10th team foul on Fond du Lac, so Eyrich will get a pair. Knocks home the first.
Good situation right now. I thought the game needed to be in the 60s, and that's what we got. Maybe you get in the 70s. Definitely a North game here with the points.
Thompson pushing hard right to Gilgenbach, who softly lays it up and in. His first basket of the fourth quarter. Scrapping hard, Gilgenbach on a hard foul. Got to be careful about that, boys. And then walking by, Eyrich bumps him pretty hard, and the referee noticed that. Not going to put up with that kind of business.
Good officials know the situation, take control, call the foul. You know he's going to reach there. Fans, of course, obviously want the intentional foul, but you know what he's doing, and the referees are going to take charge, and I think we got 2 good ones tonight, Marty.
Definitely have 2 good ones. They've called a great game tonight. Schwerer knocks home a free throw. (66-58). Good job of not falling by TJ. Gilgenbach from outside the line nails a 3. Oh man.
Oh no.
North caught it on the line. Well, I think when he passed it in, he hit the line, Chris. In either case, it doesn't matter. North turns it over. Fond du Lac has it, and they're only down 5. We're at 1:56 remaining.
Good timeout if you're Sheboygan North. Why would Fond du Lac call timeout here? You're going to need those timeouts, son. Later on, young coach, you got the ball. What do you have left? 1 timeout now? Yeah,
something like that, because they called a couple early in the ball game, actually a couple of full timeouts early in the ball game.
Drawing up a play here is not what you need. You're going to need those timeouts later when it's tick, 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 ticking away if you're going to make a run.
The one thing that makes Gilgenbach really hard to guard is he fades away on his shot, and you can't put any pressure on it. You need a guy that's at least 2 to 3 inches taller than him and can jump like a deer. Kind of like you and me.
Another thing we've seen, both players, outstanding players, TJ Kellner and Eddie Gilgenbach, have definitely shined tonight. There's no question. All is advertised, as they say.
Get it to Gilgenbach, being guarded by Nolan Free. Inside feed to Thompson. His shot is no good, but he is fouled. He'll go to the line.
Last thing the North needed to do there was foul, and unfortunately, Tim Schwer got number 5. Because that almost went in.
Yeah, and another great pass by Gilgenbach. You know, he's the whole package. 1:51 remaining. Fond du Lac will go to the line to shoot, and again, narrowing the lead without the clock running. I have Gilgenbach with 27 points so far. Kellner 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points so far. Deasing has been quiet since the first half. He does have 3 free throws, but no hoops.
You know, it's another interesting thing. When I came in tonight and I was sitting with Coach Spielman and talking about things, I noticed the Fond du Lac staff is completely different. Coach Diener, he doesn't have any of the, the original guys that he had.
And those guys were around for a long time.
I mean, it's just like the North staff that's been around for so long. Continuity and things. Just a strange outfit now. It's just a whole new thing, and Coach Zakos is going to establish himself as the Fond du Lac coach and hope to be there as long as Coach Diener was there.
Thompson has been letter perfect from the line. He has not missed tonight, and that lead, that was 13, is down to 3. And again, Eyrich with the little extra shove, what's the use? I mean, what's the point in that? All of a sudden you get called for foul. Now we're going to shoot free throws again at both ends of the floor. Who do you think has the advantage? Fond du Lac has missed 1 or 2 all night. Eyrich has missed 2 out of 3. You got to play smart, Tom. Come on.
Yep. Come on, Tom. They're going to catch you next time. I mean, that's a couple times now, and they're going to get you one of these times with one extra shove, and they'll be standing there.
Is that what you teach those kids over at St. Dominic's? Come on.
Oh, he's a good kid. Clutch.
Eyrich with a couple. It's a 5-point lead, rolling down 145.
Good change of pace on the defense here.
Oh, Ford on a nice catch, almost dropped it, and he got away with a carry. Thompson trying to penetrate, shot off the glass and in. Preston Thompson.
I thought he should have taken an earlier 3. I was wrong.
Oh, hard pass right off the face of Kellner and out of bounds. North turns it over again. $17 points for Preston Thompson, Chris. And out of those 17, he only has 3 points, so he's made 11 out of 11 free throws.
19 turnovers for North.
And we still have 126 remaining, and Fond du Lac putting a lot of pressure on the Raiders. The question is, where is Fond du Lac going to take the ball out of bounds?
Know where 4 is.
Ford has it.
Know where 4 is.
King, inside feed. And we're going to get something on the floor. We're going to get a hold on North. Wow.
I think that's it for Jordan now. I'll tell you what, it was a good pass. Korb didn't catch it right away. Went down to get it, and they got Alex on the reach.
Yep, it was on Jordan. Pretty slow at the clock that time to put it up there, but that's his 5th. Second foul out for North, along with Schwer. 58-55.
The clock's not going anywhere.
No, and they're whittling at the lead, and they've done it all quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They've hit 7 out of 9 free throws, and that's been their worst quarter of the game because they've hit 100%.
Josh Korb, this season, 2 points. And now he's out there.
He is the X factor as he stands at the free throw line.
There's no way that he thought 2 weeks ago that he'd be sitting in a 68-65 game down by 3, and his free throws are key with 1:15 left.
And he'll get 2. A little bit of a knuckler, but he got it in there. Now, if I remember correctly, the one free throw he made earlier was that little flat one that kind of hit on the top of the rim and bounced straight up and came back through. 68-66, North on top. Pulse came in for Jordan. North up 2, rolling down to 1:05.
Who's going to make the free throws? That will be important.
And we're going to get a pushing foul on Kyle Sen. And Irick's going to go to the line. And I'll tell you, if the goal is to get the ball to Irick out on the floor, Fond du Lac's doing a great job, because I don't think he's your top man, for handling the ball against pressure.
No, but I like the way he shot those free throws last time. He is right on. He's got nice form.
Good knee bend, but he couldn't get that one to roll in. 59.4 seconds remaining. North up 68-66.
Looked good. He looked real good when it left his hand. Fond du Lac missed theirs. Let's see if North can get it. It's in. Clutch.
6 points for Irick in the ball game. Eddie Gilgenbach has it. North in a zone. Ford on a cross-court pass to Thompson. That time he took the 3. Rolls out. Irick with a strong rebound. And he's fouled by Sen again. And I'll tell you, once Irick got his clamps on that ball, nobody was going to take it away from him. I'll give him that. He's a strong kid.
Rebound number 9, Tom, and send him right back up there. He's been up there for a while, getting comfortable. And that rolled around the toilet and rung out. That was a big miss. These are even bigger. Absolutely, he's right on. Even his miss was right on, Marty.
70-66, 45.6 seconds remaining. Irick nails a couple. .40 seconds. Thompson inside to Sen. He kicks it right back out to Ford. His rolls one in. We haven't heard from him from a long time.
Would like to have a timeout, but he has only got one left. He's got to save it. Tick, 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 tick.
Andy pulls. Foul called on Thompson, and that's a good call because he undercut the receiver. And
well,
just an unfortunate set of circumstances if you're Thompson.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andy did a nice job of making sure he's going to land on him.
Way to go, Andy.
That's right. Coach Zakos has one timeout, and he couldn't use it there as the clock was ticking off about 5-6 seconds. Now he did it again. He just ran himself out of timeouts.
Timeout by Fond du Lac. And it's a full timeout, Scott, so we can take a short break. With 26.5 seconds remaining, North is up 2, 71-69.
The most dangerous thing
our kids have to deal with today
isn't violence.
it isn't drugs, it's unhealthy food.
Too many of our kids are overweight. They're headed for diabetes, heart problems, or worse.
They need to eat healthy things like vegetables, fruits, high-fiber vegetarian foods.
As our kids grow, the right foods can help protect them from obesity, heart problems, diabetes, and even cancer. To find out more, call for a free booklet or visit our website, kidsgethealthy.org.
Back at the Acuity Fieldhouse at North High School, where Andy Pulls is going to step to the line to shoot some free throws. Andy, 74% free throw shooter. So far on the year, he's hit 17 out of 23 free throws. And none are going to be bigger than these two right here.
Well, he hits them both here. You're in good shape. Even hit one. Fond du Lac's in a lot of trouble here with no timeouts left, I don't believe. And something about calling timeout when the clock stopped just isn't too smart. just put yourself in a bind. You'd rather use it when you make your baskets.
Right, then you can set up your press.
Well, and stop the clock. Last time North let it roll about 4 seconds as it was rolling away towards the cheerleaders, and the cheerleaders, being good cheerleaders, just let the ball roll.
Andy can't make the second. It's 72-69, rolling down to 20 seconds remaining. Nick Ford has it.
This isn't smart either. They're going to have one shot.
19.
You either make it or
tipped
you miss.
Out of bounds. Did it go off of Thompson? No. But Deasing on the good hustle play. 15.1 seconds remaining. North up 72-69.
I'd want to get a basket as quickly as possible and then foul North. But Fond du Lac, they're just going to be stuck with their 3-point shot. They got one shot at it.
Free sticking with Gilgenbach. They're in the zone. Thompson driving, leaning, shooting, no good. Rebound by Kellner. By Pulls. Andy Pulls with the strong rebound underneath. And he gets fouled. He's going to go right back to the line. 3.6 seconds remaining. We need one free throw, boys.
All Fond du Lac did was set up for that 3-point shot, and then they went and drove into 2 trying to get the foul. And interesting set of circumstances. I didn't mind them going for 2, but when there's 19 seconds left, you go for 2.
Yeah.
Not when there's 6 seconds left. You got to kick it out and know the situation is 3. Good job by Sheboygan North tonight. They stepped up. Too many turnovers, but big 3-point shooting and clutch free throws. We're going to send these Cardinals home.
17 points by Preston Thompson. He fouled out of the ball game. You know, that's part of that being a young team, I think. You know, got to know the situation.
Oshkosh North, I believe, will be the next opponent. Fond du Lac beat Oshkosh North the second time they played. That was at home 54-49. When they played up there, they got blown away, but that was just the second game of the year. And this game's over.
Pulse makes that free throw. Chris is going to go downstairs, see if he can get some interviews after the game. It's 73-69. 3.6 seconds remaining. Can't get that one to go. 3-point attempt at the buzzer is no good, and North is going to advance in state tournament action to the regional finals with a 73-69 win over the Fond du Lac Cardinals in what was a very entertaining game. We're going to step out for a minute, and hopefully when we come back, Chris will have some interviews for us, and I'll have the final totals from this evening's ball game.
If you give me a fish.
If you give someone a fish,
you feed them for a day.
Teach someone to fish.
You feed them for a lifetime.
Give me a fish, and you'll feed me for a day. Teach me to fish, and you'll feed me for a lifetime.
Through Volunteers of America, you can help change lives in your community.
Jimmy's sick again.
You were always sick, too.
Not like him.
You don't remember.
He keeps getting infections.
He takes after you.
If your child is repeatedly sick, it may be PI, primary immunodeficiency disease, a defect of the immune system. The only way to know is by testing.
Mom, this isn't normal.
It's normal.
It's not normal. Talk to us about PI.
We've all solved problems in creative ways. But the quick fix isn't always the best, especially when it comes to your health. Crooked teeth or misaligned jaws could be signs of orthodontic trouble. Quick cosmetic fixes rather than orthodontic treatment may not be the best solution. Teeth that work better look better, and orthodontists improve the look of the mouth by improving tooth alignment and function. Appearance is important, but it's not everything. For a healthy smile, visit an orthodontist.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones. and foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
Our story begins with a journey for knowledge. For research indicates that when a parent taketh a more active role in their child's quest for education,
that child will be bestowed with higher grades and higher sense of being.
Just a wee bit of time out of your meeting schedule is all it takes to show your allegiance.
Hear what your kids are saying. Get more involved. Join your local PTA.
Back at North High School, where Sheboygan North has defeated Fond du Lac 73-69. We're going to send it down to the floor to Chris Wright. He's got TJ Kellner and Andy Pulls standing by. Take it away, Chris.
Welcome back, everybody. We're with Andy Pulls. Scrappy group from Fond du Lac, huh?
Yeah.
They just wouldn't go away.
No, they were working hard the whole game.
I thought they hustled a lot in that first half and were getting extra chances and things like that. And then that Gilgenbach, he's a pretty tough shooter.
Yeah, he is. He'll take it from 4 feet behind the line and just, he'll stick them too.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a lot of nice things today. Maybe the one thing you didn't do is take care of the ball so well, but besides from that, hitting those free throws down the line in the clutch really helped.
Yeah, they did. Lucky to get the rebounds and pick up those fouls at the end, so.
I thought you did a nice job earlier on that Gilgenbach, kind of taking him out of the flow. You know, he's going to get his shots, but, you know, I thought you guys did a nice job defensively.
Yeah, we did. Knowing three pretty much locked him up there. He still got his points because he got his shots off, but for the most part, it wasn't bad.
Congratulations, good luck this week, hopefully in Oshkosh. TJ, I never thought I'd see the day where a Fond du Lac team's going to try to run with a Sheboygan North team, but it must have been fun for you guys having them run up and down with you.
Well, we love when people try to run with us because, you know, that's our game and we're more disciplined at it. So we hope that they get more turnovers than we did, but I don't know if that was the case tonight.
I know that was the case either, but you had like 17 shots in the first quarter and back and forth, and I think you guys wore on them a little bit and didn't exactly show in the scoreboard, but I think you kind of wore them down with, you know, pushing it early in the first half made it help in the second half.
That's what we always work on in practice, is to go as hard as we can, so then we're always ready for a game situation like this. We knew Fond du Lac was going to come out and just everything they have on the floor, and that's what we were pretty much working on in practice.
I think I made a point before. I think that Fond du Lac was pretty scrappy, and they got a couple second opportunities, but for the most part, you guys really controlled the defensive boards, and you really didn't allow too many second shots. You had one bad stretch in the second quarter, but I thought you guys did a nice job hitting the boards.
Once again, that goes back to practice. We were working on just boxing out, and after you got a guy on your back, you're boxing out, not even to leave your feet, just to get the ball while you're on the ground, and you got a guy in the best position that you can.
Obviously, hitting the three-point shot's going to help you guys. You just bombed like crazy, especially for the first 3 quarters tonight. That really helped that offense.
Well, yeah, we always kind of try not to rely on the three, but we always end up kind of relying on it, but it's always nice when it falls.
I think whenever they got close, you guys seemed to get a 3. I know you had a couple, and then Derek hit one. You know, those stretches, you know, suddenly get a run, and then your 3s would, you know, help stretch that lead again.
I think we get a lot of momentum from our 3s. It's probably more of our game than it should be, but hey, if it works, it works.
Well, you took care of business here at home, now you got to go on the road.
Yeah, it'll be tough when we got Oshkosh North. It's going to be a tough one at Oshkosh, but we're going to try our best.
Well, this Fond du Lac B team beat that Oshkosh team a couple weeks ago, so you got to think a little positive, and the guys have been playing well, especially down the stretch.
I think that since Fond du Lac beat them, why can't we, right?
Well, congratulations, TJ. Get to work the next couple days, and good luck on Saturday. With that, we'll send it back to Marty.
Good job on the interviews, guys. Preston Thompson had 17 points for Fond du Lac. Eddie Gilgenbach finished as the high scorer for the game. He had 27 points, and then the next high scorer with only 8 points was Nick Ford. He hit that big 3 late in the fourth quarter to narrow the lead to 71 to 69, I believe it was. For North, they had great balance. They were led by TJ Kellner. He had 17 points. Following him was Derek Deasing with 14. Nolan Free had 13 off the bench again. Contributing 9 points was Alex Jordan. 8 points for Tim Schwer and Tom Eyrich, and then rounding out the scoring for the Raiders was Andy Pulls with 4. We mentioned earlier, or Chris did in the interview, that the North next game for Sheboygan North will be at Oshkosh North. They'll play Oshkosh North at 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. And then if you're really into basketball, you'll travel down to Fond du Lac and watch the North girls play in sectional action. Their game starts at 8 o'clock actually on Friday. Hopefully they'll win, and you'll be able to drive down to Fond du Lac and watch sectional final basketball action at Fond du Lac. With that, we're going to sign off now. Thanks for watching, everybody. For the crew and my partner, Chris Wright, I'm Mike Martin saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the tournament road.